Hello, hello, and welcome back to our little franchise story park thing we got going on here. This is episode two. If you didn't catch episode one, what we're doing here is we're building a park in Planet Coaster, and we're trying to keep it extremely realistic, and but also see if we can make a profitable company in franchise mode. And the way that I'm building this park is I tried to do this before by building a more like modern day park and doing like a full master plan thing, and it was way too ambitious for how franchise mode works. So instead, what I want to try and do is do a story park more or less, kind of going through the decades. And where the year that I've decided to start with is 1949, and there's a very specific reason why, and I'll get to that a little bit later. So if you didn't catch episode one, this is where we left off. So I'm just gonna give you just a quick little recap of what happened in episode one. So first thing is that we downloaded a starter map by Shifzy, who's a wonderful French creator. He's doing a series using his starter map, but he's going full out like modern day Epic Universe style. It's really cool. You should go check it out. But we're using this starter map, and there was a plot of land. This plot of land that was being sold off by the owner. So it's just shy of about 5 acres, using the rough measuring techniques I was able to do in here. And so we bought this up, and we're going to see if we can make a theme park company out of it. So the idea is going to be that eventually we're gonna take over this whole land on the side of the highway here, and we'll see what we can do. But this is where we're starting for right now, and we've got a parking lot here. This is the entrance with ticket booths. Back then, you didn't pay for admission and have free rides. It was more like what you're used to at a carnival, where you buy tickets, and then different rides cost different amounts of tickets. So we're gonna be doing that. There's still a couple parks that do that, but that's not really the norm anymore. But it was back then. The other big thing that was popular back in the day were dance halls, and that is this big building right here. And then finally, the big thing another big thing back in the day were band shells, and that's going to be over here, back in this corner with this park that's going to have benches and things and all that fun stuff. So, two coasters to start out with, a little out and back Woody. I don't really know exactly what manufacturer this would be. I mean, it might be PTC, but I haven't really decided who made this yet. We'll get into the lore a little bit later. But then there's also this wooden Wild Mouse that is inspired by the Wild Mouse at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And that's pretty much where we're at. So I'm going to go ahead and get some building up on the screen, and I will catch you back when we have some more things to talk about. All right, so I know that was pretty brief, but that's okay. This is where the park currently sits. So the reason why I said that we're setting this park in 1949 is because of this antique car ride right here. These didn't get popular until the 60s and 70s. However, I really wanted a car ride in here. And from some research, the earliest version of this that I could find, it's not technically one of these, but it's close enough. There were car rides similar to this, and the first one does date back to 1949. So we're going to go ahead and say that this was the first one. We had it here first, and that's just where we're going to set it. So, yeah, so that's why we're setting it in 1949. Plus, coming out of the Great Depression and everything, the 40s weren't a particularly great time for parks. A lot of them didn't survive. So to start one right after the Great Depression probably doesn't work out too well. So towards the end of the 40s, going into the 50s, is going to be a much easier thing for us to get by. So let me just kind of take you through some of the other things that have happened. It's not much, but I really want to get the park laid out, and then we'll start filling it in. So if I zoom out here, this is going to be the opening day offerings for the park. So like I said before, we've got the wooden coaster over here, we got the Wild Mouse over here, and then the series of flat rides that we have. We've got obviously the car ride, we've got a tilt-a-whirl, a Ferris wheel, a carousel, bumper cars, or dodgems as they were called in the day. Fun fact about these, we call them bumper cars now, and that's just because of a cultural shift that happened over the past several decades. When these originally were built and put out there, they were called dodgems because the idea was you were supposed to drive around and dodge the other cars coming at you. You weren't supposed to hit each other. Hitting each other was kind of just a thing that happened on accident sometimes, but the idea was to drive around and avoid each other. That that has shifted to now people hit each other on purpose, and that's why we call them bumper cars more commonly now. But they were called dodgems back in the day for that reason. The spiral slide over here, I did back up to this side. It was next to the Wild Mouse before, but I moved over here, and that's because what I want to do from the references that I got from Blackpool is that the Wild Mouse kind of sits between a couple of different buildings. So I wanted to have the one side fully attached to a building that's going to come off here. I don't know what this building is going to be yet, but I do know that there's going to be something going on over here, and we'll kind of see what that turns into. So anyway, then we've got a scrambler and we've got a wave swinger. Again, these are scramblers are fine. I believe these came out in the early 40s. Sometime I gotta double check, but scramblers were around. And then again, not technically wave swingers were around yet, but versions of them, smaller versions, those were around. So we're gonna go ahead and say that's fine. And then right in the center here, this is going to be our main restaurant that's got covered seating all the way around, and then coming inside. It's so great that we have actual restaurants in the game, so that the guests will be able to buy their food here and then go and actually sit in these booths that are all around. This will end up being queue for it. We'll decorate the inside a little bit. I haven't fully finished the interior yet, obviously, because I want it, or the roof, I mean, because I want to get the interior done first. But that is where that currently sits. And I think for the most part, that's pretty much a rundown of where we're at. Oh, I did add in the picnic benches as well as the general seating for the band shell up here, so people will be able to do that. And then there's gonna be a little bit of like a snack stand over here going on. So that's a rundown of what we have going on. Oh, sorry, a couple more, like ice cream shop is going to be built adjacent to the cafe over here. And then there's a couple of restroom spots that we're going to have over the, like one over here. There's going to be one in the restaurant. I'll probably put another one somewhere. And then in this corner right here, this is going to be one of our main game areas. So we've got a couple of Midway games here, and then this I'm going to turn into a penny arcade. Penny arcades also very popular back in the day. Games in general, Midway games were huge. Maybe that's what we'll do actually with this building here. Maybe this will be another set of Midway games. That might work out really well. So now that I believe is the rundown. Maintenance and stuff back here, offices. So, getting into how this is going to work, if you've seen down here, we've got about $34,000 in the bank. So I did some calculations with inflation and things like that to try and get a good starting value for where this park should be at. Now, this is going to get a little bit tricky with this whole decade things and trying to make money because of the way that the financial system works in this game. So, I would love to be able to try and charge quarters for each of these rides, maybe $1 for the wooden coaster over here. But if we did that, the park would it would go into bankruptcy so quick because you can't really adjust for inflation in the game. There are things like staff salaries that are kind of predetermined. There are electricity charges that are predetermined and all these things, right? So instead, we're going to make a couple of concessions. I did a couple of test runs with where where the money should fall at. But I think for this episode, since the actual getting to this part was pretty short, and I don't have really anything else to go on right now, I kind of want to get into the management side of this, because that's another big part of what I want my channel to be. So I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get the park set up and get ready to open, and then I'll get the park open, and we're just kind of gonna do a test run and just kind of see how it all works, if it all plays nice together. So I'll be back with you as soon as we get everything set up and ready to go. Alrighty, here we go. We just opened the park, got everything set up. We got all the staff in. We got their rides or their restaurant or whatever they're at. We got all that set up. Zones and everything are good to go. And we've already got about 700 people coming to the park. How I have this set up for right now is I just have a spawner and a park entrance gate just right there. Although I actually am going to delete these paths for right now to make sure that no one can go the wrong way down the road and just get lost in the town. Actually, they're coming in quite a bit now. So if you didn't see before, I reset the player cash to $10,000. It's a nice round number, so we can just kind of see where things go. What I've decided to do is basically just equate 1 quarter in the before times to $1 now. So if something were to, if we were going to make something cost a quarter, I'm setting it to $1. So for example, I have this coaster set to $8, so meaning it would be like a $2 ride. I think that's gonna be pretty good. Again, we're gonna start here, and we're just gonna kind of see what happens. The biggest thing with all of this is going to be with our costs are going to be power and staff pay. Those are going to be the two biggest things that we have going against us for this. So we're going to keep a close eye on this tab and kind of see, now that we have people in the park, we're going to see where things are going. You can see we're already spending quite a bit of money, mostly on power, to keep all of that stuff going. But hey, that's how we're doing this. So we're gonna power through and see if we can make this thing happen. Park value currently is at almost $1 million, so that's pretty cool. I do like to see that. So let's keep an eye on this, and we're gonna let it run for a bit and just kind of see. We're gonna see what happens. So watch this bottom left corner. I'm gonna fast forward here, and we're gonna see how things go. All right, so it's been about 2 hours in game for here, and I think we're actually doing pretty well. So let's go ahead and actually open up the park rating first. Shouldn't really affect us too much, but if you didn't see the ultimate management guide for Planet Coaster 2, which I will be making more on now that all these updates are coming out, but one of the things in it talks about the park rating, and whatever your lowest one is kind of has a higher weight. I don't know what the calculations are, but because we don't have that many attractions in here, this rating is kind of pulling everything else down. Also, attraction prestige, that will change. As you can see, it's been 26 days in park, but that's because I've been building the park as we're going. All of the rides will they'll get reset when we actually do this, which I suppose will be rather soon. But anyway, so that'll get reset, and that'll help change. And then park reputation just kind of goes up as people talk well, talk good, whatever that is, as they talk about your park and they enjoy it. So that's a quick little thing on park rating. So we're doing fine there. Not super worried about it. The thing that I really want to look at though is the finances. So after a couple hours in game, we started at 10,000. We're at 9,100. I did have to spend. One of the comments was about how there wasn't a lot of places to sit. People were getting tired, so I added some benches around the park. You probably saw that, and spent about $800 on benches or so. But anyway, so currently we're only down about $100. And also, if you don't know, when you come into these menus, the game pauses for you, so you don't have to worry about things kind of getting messed up in the background while you're looking through everything. So that's really good to see. So we can see that our costs, as suspected, power is one of the big ones. Staff pay is another big one, but something I didn't realize was going to be super big is the shop inventory. This cost is actually a whole lot higher than I thought it would be. So you do have to pay for supplies, which I think is a really cool mechanic in here. It's something you got to think about for sure. So the shop inventory is 12,380, and if we look at the income for restaurants, food, and drink, we're only getting in like right around 10,000 or so, a little under 10,000. So I find that quite interesting, that we're spending so much money on inventory, then also not selling said inventory. So I want to go take a look at that really quick. So we have a few things in the park. So if we look at these restaurants, and you go over into the finances tab for each individual shop or restaurant, you can see everything's broken down. So we've had some running costs of $4,384 and wages and all that, but it's only made $1,300. So I think that's interesting. Now, I had to completely nuke these prices. These were originally for like $23 or something like that, kind of something crazy. If I switch them to bargain, you can see what they were at. And now that went away. So they're back onto being what they were. So, okay, that's cool. I guess that's what these cost now. So maybe we might need to kind of adjust that. So I'm going to turn that. I guess we'll kind of leave it for right now. Same thing with this one. Let's take a look at these over here. This one's closer, so this one actually made a profit. This one is making profit. So it looks like the restaurant might be what's kind of doing us in over here. This one person is on break, but I suppose we can still look at it. That's losing a little bit. It's pretty even. That's not too bad. This one's also pretty even. This one's doing very well, and this one is also about even. So it could just be that the restaurants, I just set the prices way too low, and that's just kind of where it's at. Now, for the rides, this is going to be a little more interesting, because the the ride profits and all that, those update daily in game, and time moves much slower than it did in the first game. So we can get a projected daily income just kind of based in real time, how many people are riding the rides and everything. Like you see over here, this queue is completely full. So it's projecting to make about $2,400 today, and only cost, and so far it's cost us about $12 to run. So these are, we can't see too much how they're doing quite yet. But we can see ridership, which is really good. So like we see the Scrambler has had 476 guests come through today so far. The Wave Swinger's had 807. The Slide, probably not as many, 90, because that's a single person at a time. Dodgems are at 646. The Wooden Coaster over here, which I have not named, has had... interesting. It doesn't tell me. Am I in the wrong tab? Oh, yeah. 632, because it's only been open today. This one's also extremely expensive to run. But it is what it is, because it's a big old coaster. I'm curious about the Wild Mouse too now. Let's see. This one, 140 guests, also actually somehow more expensive than the Wooden Coaster, which I find very interesting. And the same thing with the Cars Track Rides, kind of fall in that same category. But anyway, it does seem like we're doing okay. I mean, $89 to where we were at, that's pretty flat. That's actually pretty good. I'm gonna let it run for a little while longer with that with the restaurant prices being changed, and we're gonna see if that was really what was nuking us. So I'm also curious to see what happens with these guys with the power over here. This guy should be going to check them, but these do have they have a condition penalty if they aren't serviced frequently. And if they're not serviced, then that's no good. And every now and then you will have to pay to refurbish them. But it just is what it is. Right now, we're using less power than what is needed. So that's than what they can supply. Like this one right here is using 91 out of 120. This one's using 115 out of 120, and this one's using 116 out of 120. So we're close, but we are right there. So I'm gonna let it run a little bit longer, and we'll see what happens. All right, yeah, that was that was pretty much it. Even after running it for just a little bit while longer, the costs for the restaurant, I had the prices set way too low, and that is okay. So now you can see we are positive now, and we're making pretty good money. So this is promising. I think it's going to be good. So what I want to have happen going forward is in the next episode, when the next episode comes out, I want to have this park as it stands. I want to have it completely finished. So I'm going to have all the detailing in, all these things, fences, benches, trash cans, foliage, gardening, all that stuff. I'm going to get it all finished up, and then we'll run the park, and we'll see where we go next. It's going to be a lot of managing the park, because you can take out loans and everything, and at some point we may take out a loan when we decide we want to do a capital investment. What we're going to have to do, though, is we're going to have to kind of decide when we go to expand, we're going to have to tell some stories here. Like, when these farmers want to sell their land, how much they are willing to sell it for. This little lagoon over here would be really great to incorporate. We'll kind of see. We'll see where it goes. If you guys have any suggestions of things that we can do, or ideas for this storyline, names of things, please let me know. I really appreciate some feedback on this. So that's where we're going to leave it for now. Park name. I have no idea what to call it. It's currently called Project YT. As soon as we know what the name is, we'll continue forward. So that's all I have for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.